Ryan was a bright, curious 1 year old boy who loved to explore the world around him. He had spent his earlier year in Nigeria, a vibrant and warm country full of bustling markets, friendly neighbors, and wide open spaces where he could play. But life was about to change in a big way. One sunny afternoon, Ryan's parents sat him down to share some exciting news. They were moving to a new country, Canada. His parents explained that Canada was far away and much colder than Nigeria, but it was a land of opportunity where they could build a bright future. The weeks leading up to the move were a whirlwind. Ryan's family packed up their belongings, said tearful goodbyes to friends and relatives, and prepared for their journey. Ryan didn't fully understand what was happening, but he was excited to go on an airplane for the very first time. The flight to Canada was long, and Ryan was fascinated by the clouds outside the airplane window. When they finally landed, the family stepped out into a world that felt completely different. The air was crisp, the streets were quiet, and everything seemed so big and organized. Settling into their new life wasn't easy. Ryan's parents worked hard to find a home, navigate their new surroundings, and adjust to the cold weather. They spent days researching daycares for Ryan, determined to find a place where he would feel safe and happy. After visiting several options, they finally found the perfect one. A cozy home daycare run by a kind grandmother who had years of experience with children. As they prepared for Ryan's first day at daycare, his parents felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. Would he like it? Would he make friends? One thing was certain: this move was the beginning of a new chapter for their family. See you next time on The Adventures of Little Ryan. Ryan and his parents had settled into the big city, a place brimming with energy, lights, and endless opportunities for adventure. Ryan loved the excitement of city life, the tall buildings that seemed to touch the clouds, the bustling streets filled with cars and buses, and the lively parks where children laughed and played. Every day felt like a new adventure. But even in the midst of all the fun, Ryan sometimes felt a pang of longing. He missed his grandma who lived far away in their old town. He missed the smell of her freshly baked cookies and the way she would tell him bedtime stories. Fortunately, his parents made sure to call her often, and Ryan would chatter away on the phone, telling her all about his new life. Hearing her voice always made him feel a little closer to home. Since moving to the city, Ryan had grown so much. He had become more independent, learning how to pack his school bag on his own and even helping his mom water the plants on the balcony. His parents couldn't help but notice how mature he was becoming. One evening, as Ryan was drawing a picture of a house with a big yard, his dad turned to his mom and said, "I think it's time we find a place where Ryan can have his own room. He's been sharing a room with us for so long. It's time he has his own space to grow and play." His mom nodded, smiling, and said, "I think I've heard of a town that might be just what we are looking for." "What town?" Ryan asked eagerly, looking up from his drawing. His mom hesitated, exchanging a mysterious glance with his dad. "You'll see," she said with a playful smile. Ryan's heart raced with curiosity. What town? What kind of house? He had so many questions. But his parents wouldn't say another word. That night, as Ryan lay in bed, he couldn't sleep. The thought of a new adventure filled him with excitement and a hint of nervousness. What could his parents be planning? See you next time on The Adventures of Little Ryan. After weeks of searching, Ryan's parents came across a charming small town called Botown. It was quiet and peaceful, with tree-lined streets and friendly neighbors. They found a big house there that felt perfect for their family, a house that promised a fresh start and more space for everyone. When they told Ryan about the move, his eyes sparkled with excitement. Will I have my own room? He asked eagerly. His parents laughed and nodded. Not just a room, his mom said, but something extra special. Ryan couldn't wait to see what they meant. The day they moved to Bowtown was sunny and bright. As they pulled up to their new home, Ryan's jaw dropped. The house was bigger than he had imagined, with a wide porch and tall windows that let in the sunlight. When his parents led him to his new room, Ryan was speechless. The walls were painted in beautiful shades of blue and purple, his favorite colors, and there was a big cozy bed in the corner with soft pillows that looked perfect for jumping on. A shelf lined one wall, just waiting to be filled with his books and toys. It was everything he had dreamed of and more. But the surprises didn't stop there. Ryan followed his parents out to the backyard, and his excitement grew tenfold. The yard was enormous, with plenty of space to run, play, and even build sandcastles. He imagined inviting all the neighborhood kids over for games and adventures. Just when Ryan thought the day couldn't get any better, his dad said, "Wait, there's one more surprise." They led him to the garage and opened the door. Ryan's eyes widened in amazement. Sitting there was a shiny new bicycle, a big boy bike with a sturdy frame, a huge basket in front, and a shiny bell to ring. Ryan jumped up and down with joy. "It's perfect. Can I ride it now?" he asked, his face beaming. His parents laughed and nodded. Ryan climbed onto the bike, gripping the handlebars tightly. He rang the bell, its cheerful sound echoing in the quiet street. As Ryan pedaled down the road, the wind in his hair, he felt a wave of happiness. Botown already felt like home, and he couldn't wait to explore every corner of his new town. With his bike, his beautiful room, and the big backyard, Ryan knew this was the start of a wonderful new chapter in his life. See you next time on The Adventures of Little Ryan. Ryan is loving his new home in Botown, but today's adventure took things to the next level. Just a short bike ride away is an amazing elementary school with the most incredible playground he's ever seen. And today, he finally got to check it out. On a sunny Saturday afternoon, Ryan rode his shiny new bike to the playground with his parents. And wow, what a sight! Slides, swings, sprinklers, and more. His eyes lit up as he ran to explore. "Mom, can I play on the slides?" he shouted, barely able to contain his excitement. With a big smile, his mom said, "Go ahead, but be careful." Ryan had the time of his life, from zooming down the slides to making new friends and playing games like Ring a Rose and Catch the Ball. It was a day full of laughter and fun. The playground wasn't just a place to play, it was where Ryan found adventure and made memories with other kids in his new town. After hours of non-stop fun, it was time to head home. Ryan said goodbye to his new friends and pedaled back with his parents, a little tired but completely happy. On the way home, he couldn't stop talking about how much fun he had and how excited he was to visit again. His mom had one condition: "We can go back anytime as long as you are a good boy." Ryan grinned and replied, "Of course, Mom, I promise." It was the perfect end to a perfect day. Hit like if you love playground adventures and subscribe to join us for more family fun. See you next time on The Adventures of Little Ryan. It started as an ordinary afternoon, but little did Ryan know today was about to become one of the most exciting days of his life. As he reached for a cup of water in the kitchen, a loud noise suddenly broke the silence. Bang! His heart skipped a bit. What was that? Curious, he rushed to the window, and what he saw made his eyes go wide. A huge moving truck had just pulled up next door. But that wasn't all. Among the boxes and the furniture was a little girl about his age. Could this mean a new friend? Ryan spun around and shouted, "Mom, come quick. You have to see this." His voice was filled with excitement as he pointed outside. Hearing the urgency, his mom hurried down the stairs and she peeked out the window, her face softened into a smile. "Well, well, looks like we have new neighbors," she said with a hint of excitement in her voice. Without hesitation, she grabbed Ryan's hand. "Come on, let's go say hello," she said. Ryan's heart raced. Meeting new people was always exciting, but what if this little girl was his new best friend? As they stepped outside, the warm afternoon sun cast a glow over the scene. The family was busy unloading boxes, but when they noticed Ryan and his mom approaching, they smiled warmly. "Hello," the woman said cheerfully, wiping her hands on her jeans. "We just moved in today." Ryan barely heard the words because he was too busy staring at the little girl beside them. She looked just his age, her face full of curiosity and excitement. "This is Drea," the woman said with a warm smile. Drea beamed and turned to Ryan. "What's your name?" she asked eagerly. "I'm Ryan," he replied with excitement. "And guess what? I live right next door to you." Drea's eyes widened with joy. "Really? That means we can play all the time," she exclaimed. Ryan couldn't help but smile. This was already shaping up to be the best day ever. Drea's eyes sparkled with joy as she turned to her dad, bouncing on her feet. "Dad, can Ryan and I go play?" she asked eagerly. Her dad chuckled, then turned to Ryan's mom. "I don't mind if you don't," he said with a friendly grin. Ryan's mom laughed. "Of course, but remember, no rough play." Before the words had even finished leaving her mouth, Ryan and Drea let out a loud "Yay!" and took off running towards the backyard. Giggles, laughter, and the sound of little feet filled the air as they ran around, chasing each other and playing. In that moment, Ryan knew this wasn't just any ordinary day. This was the start of something truly special. A new house, a new neighbor, and most importantly, a new best friend. Have you ever met a new best friend like this? Tell us in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more heartwarming stories. See you next time on The Adventures of Little Ryan. Summer had finally arrived, and with it came the vacation Ryan had been waiting for all year. A trip to the legendary Thunder Falls. "Mom, Mom," Ryan called, practically bouncing with excitement. "You packed the camera, right? I have to take pictures of the falls." His mom chuckled. "Don't worry, Ryan, everything is packed. Now relax and enjoy the ride." Easier said than done. The car ride stretched on for hours, the road twisting through deep forest and towering cliffs. As the sun dipped lower, mist began creeping across the road, swirling like ghostly fingers. Ryan shivered. "Dad, are we close?" "Almost, buddy," his dad said, his eyes fixed on the road. "Look ahead, there's Storm Bridge. It leads straight to another country." Ryan leaned forward, his breath catching in his throat. The bridge was massive, stretching over roaring waters far below. The mist clung to its edges, making it look like something out of a legend. "Whoa," Ryan whispered. "Across that bridge is another country? Do you think we'll ever go there?" "One day," his mom said with a smile. "For now, let's focus on making the most of Thunder Falls." They finally reached their hotel, but something felt different. The wind howled through the trees, and the sound of the waterfalls in the distance rumbled like a sleeping giant. Ryan couldn't shake the feeling that Thunder Falls held secrets waiting to be discovered. Still, excitement won over fear, and after a quick rest, Ryan and his parents set out to explore. Their first stop, the Thunder Skywheel. Ryan hesitated. It looked way taller at night. The gondolas creaked slightly as they swayed in the wind. "You sure this is safe?" Ryan asked. His dad grinned. "Trust me, you'll love it." As the ride lifted them higher, Ryan gripped his seat. The world shrank below them, the falls stretching endlessly into the darkness. The lights from the town twinkled like fireflies. Then, the ride stopped. Ryan's stomach dropped. Why aren't we moving? A voice crackled over the speakers. Apologies, folks. Just a quick stop while we let another group off. Sit tight. Ryan's heart pounded. He squeezed his mom's hand. The gondola rocked slightly, and below the mist from the falls rose like a ghostly fog. Then, all at once, the wheel started moving again. Ryan let out a breath he hadn't realized he was holding. Okay, that was kind of cool, but also terrifying. His dad laughed. Now you've got a story to tell. Next up, the Lightning Speedway. The race cars roared like thunder, their headlights cutting through the darkness. The track wound through tunnels and sharp curves, and Ryan suddenly had a feeling this wasn't going to be just any race. His dad and mom strapped into separate cars. Ryan climbed in beside his dad. The instructor raised a flag. Ready, set, the whistle blew, and they were off. Ryan gripped the wheel as the car lurched forward, zooming around the track. The tunnel ahead was completely dark, just the glow of the headlights leading the way. Something about it made his skin tingle. Dad, what's in there? Only one way to find out. Their car shot into the tunnel, and suddenly, darkness swallowed them whole. For a moment, there was only the roar of engines and the sound of wind rushing past. Then, faint glowing blue lights flickered along the walls, illuminating ancient symbols. Ryan's eyes widened. Whoa, what is this place? His dad laughed. The legend says Thunder Falls was once home to explorers who left clues behind. Looks like we just found one. As they burst out of the tunnel, the cool night air filled Ryan's lungs. The race ended moments later, and Ryan jumped out, his heart still racing from the thrill. That was epic, Ryan beamed. Can we go again? His dad chuckled. Not tonight, buddy. But don't worry, we have an entire week ahead of us. Ryan grinned. This is going to be the best vacation ever. And next time, I'm winning that race. His mom laughed. We'll see about that. As they headed to dinner, Ryan glanced back at the misty falls. The secret of Thunder Falls whispered in the night, and something told him the adventure had only just begun. The Adventures of Little Ryan book series is now selling on Amazon. Click the link on the bio of this page to purchase and enjoy more heartwarming and thrilling stories. See you next time on The Adventures of Little Ryan.